Okay, these videos will be over division from section 5.3. Alright, so we're going to start out by doing division by a monomial on the bottom. Alright, now all that's going to be divided by 2v4. So what I do to this, I'm going to split this into three fractions using the minuses and pluses to separate. So I'm going to have a 16v8 over 2v4 minus the 10v6 over 2v4 plus the 10v to the fourth over 2v to the fourth. So notice how I put all the tops over that bottom. Now I'm going to simplify each of the fractions. So 16 divided by 2 gives you 8. The v8 over v4, we subtract exponents. 8 minus 4 leaves me a 4, so I got 8v4 minus 10 divided by 2 is 5. v6 over v4, 6 minus 4 is 2, so that's going to leave me 2v plus 10 divided by 2 is 5. The v4 and the v4, they cancel, so my final answer, and we're done. So then we look at number 2, which is 10w to the 8 minus 10w to the 6 plus 25w to the third. All that's going to be over 5w to the third. So since I got subtraction and addition, I'm going to separate this into three fractions like I did a while ago. So 10w to the 8th over 5w to the third minus 10w to the 6th over 5w to the third plus 25w to the third over 5w to the third. And then once again, I'm just going to separate each of the fractions and simplify. So 10 divided by 5 gives me 2. 8 minus 3 leaves me 5w. Minus 10 divided by 5 is 2. 6 minus 3 leaves me 3w. Plus 25 divided by 5 is 5. And then these w3's cancel. And there's my final answer. Alright, number 3. They're giving me in the long form, but I'm going to write it as a division like we've been doing. So I got 30 x7y8 minus 25 x5y6 plus 25 x to the third y. That's all being divided by a monomial, which is 5x to the third y. So I'm going to split this into three fractions using the minuses and pluses to separate. So I got 30 x7y8 over 5x3y minus 25 x5y6 over 5x to the third y, and then plus my 25x to the third y over 5x to the third y. So once again, I'm going to separate and simplify each fraction. So 30 divided by 5 is 6. 7 minus 3 leave me 4 x's. 8 minus 1 leave me 7 y's. Minus 25 divided by 5 is 5. 5 x's minus the 3 leaves me 2 on the x's. y6 minus y1 leaves me y5. Plus 25 divided by 5 is 5. x3's cancel, y's cancel. So there's my final answer. Alright, 4, let's see. This one is going to be synthetic division. And we're going to divide by b plus 3. Alright, so synthetic division, we write the numbers of the coefficients of the polynomial. And remember, in front of the b squared is like a 1. So we're going to write the 1, the negative 5, the negative 50. Then we write us a little upside down divisor. Now, over here, we put what we call the c. The c, when you're in factored form, is going to be opposite in sign than that plus 3. So my c is going to equal a negative 3. So I put that negative 3 right here. Now, synthetic vision is just a pattern, but here we go. You bring the 1 down, and then the 1 times negative 3 is negative 3. These two numbers we add. Negative 5 and negative 3 gives me a negative 8. Then we multiply again. The negative 8 times the negative 3 is a positive 24. Now right here is where we put what we call a remainder. So a negative 50, positive 24 gives me a negative 26. So now, since this started as a b squared, the answer starts as a b. You always take away 1 from the exponent, that's the highest. So this would be 1b minus 8, and then it has a remainder of negative 26. So this little box always contains the remainder. Alright, next one is a c squared plus 9c plus 20. We're going to divide that by c plus 4. Alright, so let's write our numbers. We got 1, 9, and 20. I'm going to draw my little box. And I'm just going to box this end in because that's going to be my remainder. Now, remember my c goes here. And since this is a positive 4, c is going to equal a negative 4. So we put our negative 4 right there. Alright, so here we go. Bring the 1 down. 1 times negative 4 is negative 4. 9 plus a negative 4 is 5. 5 times negative 4 is negative 20. So this one gives me a remainder of 0. So remember, this starts 1 degree less. So if that was a c squared, this will now be a c plus 5. And it has a remainder of 0. Alright, moving on to the next one. Alright, so this is number 6. I got a r to the third minus 8r squared plus 30r minus 14. I'm going to divide that by r minus 5. Alright, so let's get our numbers wrote down. We got 1, negative 8, 30, and negative 14. So I'm going to draw my little house here. Here's my remainder. Now, since this is a negative 5, c will be a positive 5. Alright, so here we go. We're going to bring down to 1. 1 times 5 is 5. Negative 8 plus 5 is negative 3. Negative 3 times 5 is negative 15. 30 and negative 15 give me 15. 15 times 5 is 75. And let's see, 75 and a negative 14 give me what? A positive 61. Now remember, these start 1 degree less, so since that's r3, this starts as a r squared. So I got 1r squared minus 3r plus 15, and it has a remainder of 61. Alright, moving on to number 7. A squared plus 15a minus 13. I'm going to divide that by a plus 6. Excuse me. Alright, so writing my numbers down, I got a 1, 15, negative 13. Alright, let me get my house drawn here. Now my c, since that's a plus 6, c will be a negative 6. So I bring my negative 6 down. Alright, so here we go, the same pattern. We're going to bring the 1 down. 1 times negative 6 is negative 6. 15 and negative 6 give me 9. 9 times negative 6 is negative 54. So let's add that together and we get what? A negative 67. So starting out 1 degree less, From the a squared, that be a 1a plus a 9, and it has a remainder of negative 67. Alright, y'all, number 8 has an a to the third minus a 7a squared plus 6 divided by a minus 2. Alright, notice I got an a3, I got an a squared. I don't have an a term here, and then I got my number. So since I don't have the a term here, I got to use a 0 in its place. So watch what I do. I got a 1 for the a3, negative 7 for the a squared. There's no a, so that'll be a 0. And then I got my 6. So every placeholder has to be represented on your synthetic division. And this is the first one we had where we had a missing variable in there, okay? Now my c over here, since that's a negative 2, c is going to be a positive 2. So we put our 2 in there, and then here we go, bring down to 1. 1 times 2 is 2. Negative 7 and 2 give you negative 5. Negative 5 times 2 is negative 10. 0 and negative 10 is negative 10. Negative 10 times 2 is negative 20. So my remainder, negative 20 plus 6 is a negative 14. Now, remember, that's an a3, so this starts 1 degree less, so that's an a squared minus 5a minus 10 with a remainder of negative 14. Now, what they did on this, and they wrote the remainder a different way, so they wrote the answer as an a squared minus 5a minus 10 plus that negative 14 over what we divided by, which was the a minus 2. Alright, then we got one more, looks like number 9. Alright, so this one is sort of similar to the last one. I got a v4 minus 81 divided by v minus 3. So notice this, and I got a v4, I don't have a v3, I don't have a v squared, I don't have a v. So I will have to use 3 zeros in between this one. So bring down to 1, a 0 for the v3, a 0 for the v squared, a 0 for the v, and then we got negative 81. Then I'm going to draw my little house again. This time c, since that's negative 3, c will be a positive 3. Alright, so here we go. We bring down to 1. 1 times 3 is 3. 0 plus 3 is 3. 3 times 3 is 9. 0 plus 9 is 9. 9 times 3 is 27. 0 plus 27 is 27. 27 times 3 is 81, which gives me a 0 remainder. So remember, this starts out 1 degree less than v4, so that would be 1v3 plus 3v squared plus 9v plus 27. So you see how each number represents a different variable with a different exponent. And then remember, this one had what, a remainder of 0, so we don't have to write that. Alright, y'all, that's synthetic division and division by momomial. So, good luck.